Okay, you guys, so today you're going to be doing these watercolor lemons. It's not going to be like a still life where it's sitting on a table and it's like shaded and everything, although I do have some shading in mine. It's more of like a print or a overall pattern with some unity, meaning some things will be the same, and then some variety, meaning things are different as well. Okay, you definitely want to fill your space. So I just want to show you really quick. It's pretty self-explanatory, but you're going to have some stencils that look like this. And you can use these however you want, but like this is just the whole lemon. So you'll outline it. Okay, and this one, I have two lemons next to each other with a whole branch, and in some of these, I just have the leaves. So you can do what you want there with those. But what I recommend you do, I'm just doing a smaller paper for this sample, is you kind of start with a couple of things and then you work outwards from there. So I'm going to start with these two, and then I'm going to do maybe like a whole slice right here. Now with the slice, when you draw it, okay, you don't get the inside part as part of your stencil. So what I'm doing is I'm very slowly creating this circle, this inner circle for where the rind ends and the fruit of the lemon begins, okay? And it doesn't have to be a perfect circle because lemons are not perfectly circular, all right? And then you do a circle in the middle, and then you do your sections outwards like this, okay? For the wedge, I'm gonna do one up here. I'm going to trace it. And then just like before, I'm going to slowly create this rind section. I'm not doing it all at once because then it'll be really wonky. And I'm trying to keep it about the same all the way around. And then I'm going to create this circle in the middle and then my sections. Okay. And then I have more space down here that I would fill with something, but I'm not going to have you guys fill it right now. And then you'll trace it in Sharpie. Now I did want to point out, I like to add extra lines to my art. So when I'm tracing like the leaves in Sharpie, for example, I'll come in and do an extra little scribble, okay? To me, it just gives it a little bit of movement and energy when I'm tracing the lemon. You could do like some little dots like this, maybe a little scribble. Okay, but you don't have to do that. I just like to do that. With this one, where I like to put the scribbles is in the actual fruit and not the rind, because it creates that texture. You know how lemons and limes and oranges have that little texture, bit of texture to them. So I do like a little scribble in these sections, and you can practice it if you want to on another paper. Okay, so you're going to finish tracing everything in Sharpie, which I have already done, so you can pause it and do that. And then we're going to start painting. So here's another one that I did, okay? And the first thing I want you to paint is your background. So you're going to have at least the 16 color sets. You could have, if you want to, you could pull out the really big sets because they have lots of values of yellow, okay? The first thing you're going to do is paint your background. Now on my first one that I showed you, I painted mine purple, but you can paint it whatever color you want. I do want to point out, I'm not going to paint this whole one, but like, let's say I was painting my background blue. Okay, I'm not going to get right up next to my lemons per se. It's okay to leave a little bit of white around them. But you want to do your background first, so that way if you do accidentally get into your lemons, you can either wipe it up. So a baby wipe will take paint right off of your paper, and Miss Courtney can help you pinpointing where you need to do it. Or if you get a little bit into your lemon, you can kind of paint over it and blend it out later. Now, I'm just going to do this section, let's say right here. Okay, so I painted it all blue. Now let's say I wanted to take this section and I wanted to go ahead Now you want to do your whole thing, whatever color you're doing it, do the whole thing. And you can do it multicolors. I just did one. So let's say I was completely done and I wanted to start with this lemon, and you see how the background is completely like wet. Okay, if I go to paint my lemon yellow, then this blue is going to get into my yellow to make green, right? So what you might need to do once you're done painting your background, the area that you started in will probably be pretty dry, but the area you finish in won't. So what you could do is take a paper towel and just kind of lay it on there. I'm not rubbing, just gently pressing, and that will soak up some of that extra water, and it also leaves a cool texture sometimes. Okay, and then you can move on to painting your lemons and stuff. Okay, so this one I'm gonna shade. I'm gonna start with just a yellow lemon. Now you guys could use different values of yellow if you get out those really big sets. Okay, so I could paint this yellow, and then I'm going to use brown to shade with. So you could use a darker yellow, but I'm going to use brown to do some shading with this. Okay, because I don't have different values of yellow, and I don't even have white. So I'm going to paint this all really light. I'm spreading it all out. Okay, and then I'm going to come back with just a little bit of this brown and add some value in there. Okay, and that's how I did these. Now with the green for the leaves, what I liked to do, but again, you have all the different greens in your palettes, so you're not going to need to do necessarily what I did, but I painted it green, and then I added just a tiny bit of blue to it, and that's how I got that color. Okay, so I think you're ready to paint. Just remember, after you're done with your background, lay a paper towel across it and just gently pat it to soak up extra moisture so that your background color doesn't get into your lemon color when you're painting. And I think you'll be great.